Awesome. Way to go. And how was your boy's surgery?
It went very well. He bounced back really good. We
Good.
were out on the 5th day. We got discharged on Monday, and he's doing pretty well. The tube's healing nice, and it's not too bad.
Awesome. Great to hear, man.
Thank you.
Our team has been thinking of you guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem, Terry. Who else has a victory to share?
I have a couple.
Yes, go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, I was just finishing supper there. I didn't want to be on camera. So I think a couple people saw today. I went to the doctor, and I've had the ultrasound scan now, and found out that there was all kinds of damage and stuff. And the doctor gave me this big, "Oh, your world is ending, and how could you ever put pressure on your foot?" And oh my goodness. And I went and I saw some people at River Valley Health who I've been dealing with for years, and they're like, "Hey, guess what? We'll have you on your feet and ready to go in 2 weeks for Awaken," because I told her that was really important to me. So I'm super excited about that. And the other thing is I've been putting some ads out, and I now have 4 leads going. One of them is a warm market, and then 3 other new ones.
Amazing, Chris.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Way to go. All right, let's keep going. Who else has some victories to share?
I have one.
Yes, go ahead, Kyla.
But I started work again, and it's gone really well, and it's actually creating more structure and schedule for me. So I'm able to do business there, and I don't have this little guy distracting me all the time. So as much as I miss him, it's kind of nice to be out of the house and adulting again.
That's good. Hey, that's a big victory. Absolutely.
So
that's great to hear, Kyla.
I'll get a Facebook ads budget up again. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good. Amazing. All right, let's take one more victory.
Can I just actually give a really quick shout out to, or did she leave? Oh no, Sabrina. This is her first call. She's new. She just, her and Joel got a mini try, and they are ready to crush it. So congrats and welcome to your very first call. Super excited to have you here.
Awesome. Welcome, Sabrina.
I've got a win. Me and Colin, we cleaned up the office, and it feels a lot better when you work in a clean environment.
Oh, imagine that, hey?
Yeah, it's when it's kind of cluttered, it weighs in the back of your mind that you don't even think about it, like in your subconscious, like it's like you need to do it, so it's always there ticking away, but you never do it. Molly maids. I wanted to say something to Chris. Awesome. I'm glad that you're healing up fast. One thing that I'm actually talking to this guy, Michael Taylor, he's in the hospital right now, and he lost his he lost 3 fingers on a wood chipper right here. He got them all cut off. He didn't get his hand out of there fast enough. But what happened was, it was all 4 of them actually. But what happened was they got them all. They sewed them back on. They had to do a lot of leeching on the middle finger there. This relates to your story. And they had to, they got it back on there. And so what I did was I told them, I said, get the book, You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe Vitale. And so what Joe Vitale did is he was a chiropractor, and he used to do triathlons. And when he was on the bike part of the triathlon, he ended up getting ran over by a truck going about 80 kilometers an hour, and it broke his back in like 8 different places and crushed his vertebrae and all this sort of stuff. And so what he did was he took that time in the hospital laying on his stomach. He actually, because he was a chiropractor, he was able to take the bone structure in his mind and heal himself by himself. Like they told him that he wasn't going to walk again and all this stuff. 9.5 weeks later, he was out. 10 weeks later, he was practicing again. So yeah, I know you're pretty banged up there. I've seen some pictures. So I would recommend
awesome photo.
Oh yeah, I would recommend doing that and just really focusing maybe like half an hour a day on your leg being healed and whatever's wrong with it and fixing it up. And I think that you'll be ready to go without even a doctor's help. Boom.
Well, it's a
Awesome.
chiropractor that I'm seeing, and she's pretty awesome too. So definitely,
And power
thumbs up
of
for those guys.
gratitude.
That's
What's
right,
that?
Susanna. The power of gratitude, Susanna says.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Corey. And isn't that so important when we have a good workspace as well? As I look at my workspace and I'm like, okay, I need to declutter. But it does make a difference. It also makes a difference to separate your workspace from your living space, right? I'm sure you guys, when you guys set up that office, it makes a massive difference to be able to have designated workspace and then, living space or sleeping space. If you use one space for multiple purposes, sometimes the environment, it gets cluttered, it gets mixed up, right? And you can't focus as well. Anybody struggle with that, where you are using personal space for workspace? Does anybody?
I know when before we got the office finished, the boys were working in the kitchen, and it was just constant. And I can agree. I talked to Mel about this, by the way. I know she knows that the cords everywhere on your kitchen table, and we resonated because I was like, yeah, doesn't it drive you crazy? Like, this isn't an office.
Yeah.
And so, the cords were everywhere, constantly laptops and papers, and it never really looked like a kitchen table. It always just looked like this mess of a workspace, because you know how boys can be with their paperwork. So I can totally agree that having your own space and environment, when you're sitting in it, and it creates focus as well, because you're just in your space to really hone in and accomplish what you're out to accomplish.
Yeah, that's great.
So did you move your workspace?
Have I? No, I actually. Mel has an office and I don't. So that's the sacrifice that I make in our house right now. So
That's awesome.
I could make another one in the spare bedroom. It's again, that's my excuse. That's my excuse. So thanks for bringing light to that, Nikki. Thank you very much. Yeah. But and
I actually totally agree with everybody, with Corey and Nikki on this one, because I just kind of go by messy bed, messy head. So it's about making your bed in the morning and keeping your area organized, because the more cluttered your surroundings, the more cluttered your brain is going to be. It's really that simple.
For sure. Great tip.
So I have an interesting win.
Yes, go ahead.
I had a numerology session with Bobby Parahar today.
Yes.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. I think I am. Some of you guys might have seen him with Balaj on the Go Live there. And holy man, I didn't believe in any of this shit. Really don't. And then with some simple numbers and my name, he gave me this reading that was so eye-opening and massive. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you want to do this, do it with Bobby, because this was really game-changing. Again, I've had so many game changers since the beginning of this year. It's sick, but it's awesome. And so there were certain things he told me about myself that I already knew, and the numbers just confirmed that. But then there was other things that I had no idea about, little things that I do that are actually making the biggest difference. So he was able to kind of pull it all together for me. It was supposed to be a 60-minute session, but I think we went for about 80 minutes. And it was so worth it. So if you haven't done that yet and you want his name, let me know. I will give it to you. If you know how to connect with him from Balaz's Go Live, do that. But you might want to get on this because it was really cool.
Awesome, Ange. Can you give everybody a little bit of insight on what was so cool? Give just one small example. Because I'll say that my first exposure to numerology was at Balaz's Mastermind back in August in Vancouver. Mel and I both went, and Mel is more open to believing in that sort of thing than I am. But going, a lot of it made sense. And as some people, myself included, would think it's a little hokey, thinking about numbers, there is a lot of merit in it, and there's a lot of backing, that says that there is some ground to numerology. So could you give an example, Ange, real quick?
Well, yeah, for example, evidently it makes quite a difference when people address me as Angela or Angie, and if I address myself that way. So there's like when I sign my gratitude and my goals in the morning, I sign thank you, love Angie. But Angie is actually more of a sweet little girl side of me, whereas Angela is really the stronger, feistier Italian you guys all know and love. And even when you guys call me Ange, if you send me messages, okay, thanks, Ange, that actually makes a difference too in the way people address you. Then he told me, and this was, I think, what sold me on it, I have a 764 protector, which is like, I will be protected against, a hurt. If everybody else died in an earthquake, I would survive it. So the fact that I lived through a near fatal car accident when I shouldn't have was proof of this protector. And, I don't even know what else to add to that. Like, he said that my numbers were some of the most powerful woman numbers he's ever seen. And I was like, you're just saying that. He's like, no, I'm not saying that. He's like, you think you don't have this womanly part of you, but you do. And it's actually very alive and out there. You're showing her, you just don't think you are. And I was like, okay. And then this protector thing was huge. He said I actually had similar numbers to Cameron George, Balaj, Cardos in leadership. So this is just really, really exciting, I think, to me, that now I got this whole new world opened up to me in a way. And I'm like you, Kevin. I thought it was all kind of hokum and maybe, it's, it is what it is. Maybe it does mean something. Maybe it doesn't. But now I'm in. I'm in. Can't hear you, Kevin.
Kevin.
My bad. Sorry. I was on mute. Ange, maybe you can send the name of or Bobby's contact in the chat group.
Oh yes. I'll do that now.
So anybody that is interested in numerology, that would be he's the guy to reach out to. And Ange, let's give you a couple minutes to talk about the event that you put together, the online training that you put together with Travis.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And I'm so glad that I got to talk to you guys about this quickly tonight. This is another win, I think, for me. Those of us from Punta Cana, we got to experience something with Dr. Travis Fox that I think, again, is game changing. I know I say that, but I really mean it. Like, it was so massive. So when we got back, I was like, I really wanted everybody who wasn't there to be able to experience this somehow. And I managed to convince Travis into a few things, which is really awesome. So one of the things that I was saying to Travis is like, I feel everybody needs to get on the same page. We need to get back online somehow. It's like there's been some drift, maybe. Not only inside of like my team Pitbull, but I felt kind of just throughout. It was just a feeling I had. So those of us who were in Punta Cana with him and who had 2 full days, you'll probably all agree with me when I said we got like deluged with information. We were just fire hosed with a lot of stuff to absorb.
We got mind fucked.
Mind foxed, right? Mind foxed is what Travis calls himself. He mind foxes people. So Travis decided to do 2 90-minute sessions on February 19th and February 26th at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so 7 p.m. Pacific. Now, we did this week apart. We were thinking Monday, Tuesday. Then we decided to do it a week apart because you're going to get so much in that first 90 minutes and you're going to get a little bit of homework that you're going to need that week to sit in stillness with it, okay? So there's a reason why we split it up on 2 different days. The cost for this is $149 USD. I can send the link out to anybody who wants it. You can invite your team. You can invite people that are not inside Gas. This is not about your business. This is about a personal development, teachings and strategies. So that was kind of the background to why we split it up over those 2 days. Travis normally bills himself out at around $500 an hour. So getting 3 hours with this guy for $150 is a huge deal. A little bit about Travis. He's a double PhD in psychology and hypnotherapy. He's been working in personal development for, I think, 28 years now. Built many a business, multimillionaire, incredible guy to learn from. Some of the other people in the community were introduced to Travis at Balage's event too, back in August after the the Vancouver event. So there's other people inside the community that are using him as their hypnotherapist and using his teachings. So this was a way for us to kind of bring it all back for those of us, and even those of us who were in Punta Cana. Some of the language that he's going to teach, we're going to have heard because we all have to get on the same page. But this isn't going to be exactly like Punta Cana either. So those of you who were in Punta Cana, you can still come to this event and still get something out of it. So that was why I was really kind of adamant to do something with Travis that would help everybody, because I think anybody who's experienced with him will tell you that it was so worth it. So
awesome,
incredible.
Ange. Awesome. Thank you for sharing it. And perhaps later on you can share the link or whatever promo material you have for it. I will say that it was very eye-opening. Mel and I obviously were both there, and he takes a very deep look into what holds you back, your subconscious, what other limiting beliefs you might have, but also to give you some actionable steps on how to create the space in your life for more abundance and more of anything, really, more of anything and more of everything. So it was valuable to that extent. So thanks, Ange, for sharing. We've got a couple of people we want to bring out. I just want to double check they're here. I know Steph is here. I want to bring out Steph Rowland tonight because this girl has been smashing it lately, and I want Steph, if you can come out. Yeah, there you are, and share with everybody a little bit about your results recently. What have you like? You've had quite a few front end sales over the last week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. What are those numbers like right now?
So ever since I came back from Punta Cana, everything just fucking shifted. So I've been meditating every single morning, and not only is my business shifting, my dog business is shifting as well. Like, I'm getting clients like no tomorrow. Like right now I'm in a different environment. I'm dog sitting. But what I've done is, honestly, it's the mindset and the meditation, and people, one of them came from my Go Live. So Go Lives fucking work, by the way. So I've been doing, if you guys have me as a friend or what, but I've been doing it, bringing someone out from GAZ or just our online community and just talking about their experience. Not trying to sell anyone, not trying to do any of that. I just want people to know that this is a real thing and that this can change their lives. And I'm doing it on my personal page. So that's helped a lot when it comes to my sales that are happening. And then honestly, when it comes to me messaging now, I felt like back then I was always thinking about the 99, and now I'm actually thinking about heart and soul and what people really want. And that's how it's rubbing off to getting my sales and stuff like that. I haven't been on the phone. I don't even know how long. I've been closing them with like the master class that we had. And then especially with the new everything that's coming in, everything, I feel like that's going to work too. So
awesome.
That's
awesome stuff.
what I've been doing.
So how many sales have you generated? How many front end sales have you generated since you got back?
So I have 6. Hold on, I'm going on to I have 6 people that are active right now. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 10.
Awesome. 10 new sales in the last 2 weeks, basically.
Basically, yeah. So a few of them have been like backbone, like they've been doing it, but they've been coming back. But yeah, So I got 3 full-on sales on Friday. Like I had like the best day, and like out of nowhere, I got 3 sales. I was like, winning. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Way to go, Steph. That's amazing. So with you have the action of meditating. I mean, what do you think the big shift was? Right? Yeah, like you're taking this action now, but what was the root of taking that of taking that action? What made you, or what helped you to now all of a sudden take different action? Was there a aha moment? Was there an epiphany? Was there a tipping point? What was that?
Letting things go that were holding me back. Like I felt we learned in Punta Cana with Travis is that I felt like my dad was in my head all the fucking time telling me that I couldn't do it. And in the process right now, like he was the one that was holding me back. So once I figured out how to react to his situation and like how to not react to his situation, but react to how he talks to me and stuff like that. If we get in an argument, I won't yell back. I'll just say okay and like walk away kind of thing. And it's been helping. We're in the process of doing the water as we speak. He messaged me today because I'm away for a week. He's like, are you alive? I was like, yeah, I'm alive. He's like, you just want to make sure being funny. He's like, text me every day, you're alive. And then I'll start processing, putting in the water. I was like, really? That's how it's going to go? Seriously? But just that mind shift of just knowing how to react to situations and not getting stressed out and upset when something happens, because you can't control what happens, but you can control how you react to the situation. So.
Oh, that's big, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I just read that exact same quote today. You can't control what happens, but you can control how you react.
Yep. So that's
Amazing.
how I'm doing it.
Awesome. So outside of those daily activities, are there any other daily activities that you are practicing or performing now that has helped you make this shift both in your life and in your business?
Just
besides meditation, what else is there?
I guess meditation is the one thing, but also just taking a deep breath. Like, I guess that's not, I think it's the same thing as meditation, maybe, I don't know. But just taking a deep breath in those situations. Like, you guys, this is a business, yes, and you're going to have hard days. You're going to be stressed out. That's a fact. That's just anything that you invest in. It's anything that you do. But you just have to take a deep breath and go back to your why and why you started all this. And that's what I've been doing. Like, every time I'm having a difficult day or it's a bad day, I just take a deep breath and say, everything's going to be okay. I'm capable of doing this. Like, I might not be as fast as everyone else, but I'm going to get there eventually.
Awesome. Who else has been stressed out in this environment at some point or another? Right? Raise your hand. Yeah, absolutely. There are days that aren't fantastic. There are days that aren't they don't necessarily go as well as we want them to go, or go as we plan at all. But do we control that? No. There's so many things that we don't control. But we do control how we act. We control the lens that we get to see the world in. And Steph, I really think that has been a massive, massive shift for you. Number one, making the investment to go to Punta Cana, because that was a stretch for you, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a little bit. And I am very, very grateful for Carrie Anderson, because I honestly, at the time, I could not afford the hotel. I was like, I can't put this on my credit card and I can't do it. And Carrie like offered, she's like, do you want me to help? You want me to put it on my card and you pay me when I get there? I was like, if you do that, I will fucking love you forever. And that helped so much, and then I got to pay back. I saved up because I knew I had to do it. But right there, it was a little stressful, but at the same time, I knew in my heart that I needed to go. Like, that's the first event of the year that's going to get me where I need to go for the rest of the year. And then I'm going to Vegas. Can't wait for Vegas.
Oh, that'll be fun. But
yeah,
Steph, I mean, I want to dive into that a little bit. How did you feel? Because understand, you're probably not the only person that has said, well, I can't afford that, or I can't afford that ad budget, or I can't afford that event, or I can't afford that program. What was the process that you went through that got you over that hurdle to actually taking action and making the commitment?
Finally knowing that I was worth it, and knowing that this was going to help my business. And I even told my dad and my parents, I was like, I need to go. Like, this is where I need to be for me to get me at the end of the year. Like, my family thinks I'm crazy for what I'm doing online, and that's fine. But like, I'm telling myself, like, I'm going to have Christmas at my own house at the end of the year. And this event is going to help me get there. So like, I just knew in my soul that I needed to go. Like, I had that gut feeling. And I always say to follow your fucking gut and your soul, because it's always right. Like, no matter what, it might be scary, but it's always right. So right there, I needed to go no matter what. And I was so, like it said, the universe happened. I got a free flight basically because of my points. So I was like, this is meant to be. Like, it's meant to be if I get a free flight. So, yeah.
can everybody tell how confident Steph is now, and just how much conviction she has? And it started way back then, even though you didn't really knew, but you had that gut feeling. You had to follow your gut and say, hey, you know what, I gotta go for it. And you didn't let fear or doubt get in the way, right?
Right.
I actually just want to touch on that. It's really crazy. I've watched, obviously, Steph grow over while she's been involved, and she started bringing in sales and stuff, and then she was in Punta Cana, and I remember going to Colin. I'm like, Colin, like, go to Steph's page. And he's like, why? I'm like, you have to watch her go live that she did in Punta Cana. And I actually have chills when I say this right now, because I was like, it was like, and I really do, my hair is sticking up. I'm like, it was like a brand new Steph. And I was just like, you're so confident. Like, I remember when you first started to go lives, and you just kind of see how people's day was going, and there'd be like 2 minutes, and you sat in that, I remember you perfectly. You sat in that beach chair, and I was so excited to go to Colin and just be like, I was so proud, because I was like, the growth that I'd seen, because I remember all your go lives from before, and just the growth that I'd seen you accomplish and become. And that go live that you did was so powerful and so raw and so real and so Steph. It was Steph. A piece of Steph that was hiding deep down inside, that now you had this burst and you could just bring it out. And like, honestly, I know I can speak for Colin when I say that I am like so freaking proud of you, and I'm so excited to see what this journey is going to hold for you, because I know it's going to be amazing.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I honestly have never felt myself, and I know that I can come out and ask questions and not be afraid anymore. Like, me and Joanne just went on a go live. I think we talked for like a fucking hour, and we were just going over like fear and everything like that. And like, when you're afraid of something, you can't let the fear get in the way. Like, you honestly can't, because it's not going to get you anywhere. And just being part of this community is it's just amazing. Like, I couldn't imagine myself 9 months ago being where I am today. Like, it's just crazy how everything works out.
Steph, say that again. You said something there about fear. Say that one more time.
That you can't let fear get in the way. That one? Yeah, you can't,
yes.
Honestly. Like, I was just with Joanna, we went live, and we figured out that we have this big project that's happening in March that I'm so fucking excited about that I'm not going to say. But just being that, knowing that I am capable of doing that. And 9 months ago, I wouldn't be thinking that. I wouldn't be thinking about doing what I'm doing. So, like, right there, you cannot let fear get in the way of what you're doing. Stop thinking this, stop controlling this, and start following your heart. That's the one thing I'm always going to say.
Mm-hmm. Were you clear all the time?
Those of us who were in Punta Cana with Steph, how many of you felt how powerful she is? She is incredibly
so
powerful, isn't she?
So
I
powerful.
finally got to meet her there, and the energy and the passion she has. Holy man, it was epic. It was huge. So way to go and finding that inside yourself, Steph. Way to freaking go, girl. You rock hard.
I've been doing a small group with Steph for a couple of months now, and I'm so excited that other people are getting to see what she's been showing us, but not showing everybody else, because she's awesome.
Thank you.
Steph, were you always clear, or how long ago did you actually get clear on your goals? Because your goals are one thing, and then the belief is another thing. Did your goals grow when your belief grew, or were they always pretty solid?
No, they grew when I started believing in myself. Like, back then, I wouldn't imagine myself actually moving into a house. I wouldn't imagine myself quitting my job in April. I wouldn't imagine myself doing all of that if I didn't believe in myself. Like, that right there, like, they were different. Like, people think I'm crazy that I'm what I'm doing in April. Like, but at the same time, I know what I'm doing is working, and I know it's going to get me where I need to be. Like, that belief right there.
That's amazing, Steph.
And that is being clear. So way to go. No, awesome. Like, that's when you have your mind set, when your mind set up, like you've mapped out your game plan, and that's getting clear. It's not hard to do. You just got to do it.
And trust me, you're going to have those bad days. You're going to have those days that you freaking don't want to do shit. But at the same time, you just have, like I said, meditation is such a big thing when that comes to it. But at the same time, you guys know what you want and you're going to do whatever it takes. You're in this for a reason. So on those bad days, just take a deep breath. You know it's going to be okay. And then start up again the next day in the happiest mood.
But like what you said there, that's just life.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, if you're going to a 9-to-5 job, you're going to have good and bad days. Like Nikki and I are fortunate enough to work from home full time now. We have good and bad days. We have way more good days than bad days, but you know, some days the kids are off the hook. Just some days your vibe's not there, but you just got to just go back to being focused. You know, once you get your focus back, and if you can start having way more good days than bad days, then you're winning the battle. But it's just really, really awesome to hear how clear you are on your path.
Yeah,
I'm excited about my future finally.
I definitely hear a future lady boss / leader in Stephanie Rowland there. She so confident and just vibration on another level, right? And then and to understand, guys, that it's not like is it a conscious decision? Yes, but it's something that you feel inside. I think we spoke about that in a past mastermind, is harnessing that emotion, getting real with who you are and what you want to express, and understanding that everything that drives human existence is driven by emotion, driven by passion, driven by love, right? And abundance. Those are emotions that fuel creativity, that fuel innovation, that fuel tenacity, right? Because like Colin said, and Steph, not every day is going to be, rainbows and pots of gold and Skittles. Like there's shitty days sometimes, but what gets you through it is by having that clarity of vision and driving forward with passion and with conviction. And that's something that I have zero doubt that Steph has right now. So Steph, bravo, girl.
Thank you.
You're absolutely crushing it. Yeah, you've got a lot of cheerleaders here rooting for you. So keep up the great work.
Thank you.
And everybody else, I think, we all have to be mindful of what that clarity looks like. And however you do it, there's so many ways to do it. Doesn't mean that you have to go on an exotic trip with a bunch of, with 40 or 50 other people on the same journey. You can do it on your own. You can sit and start to work on yourself. Give yourself that space and the grace to be able to work on yourself so that you can now create more abundance in your life. You can do the inner work and let go of the baggage. Get rid of the chains that are on you emotionally and psychologically. Because a lot of times that's what holds us back, like Steph alluded to, right? She had to get out of her own way and not let fear stop her. So since January 1st, has anybody allowed fear to stop them or slow them down from something that they know that they've done over the last 5 weeks? Has fear stopped you from doing something that you know you should have done for your business? Right? Raise your hand if it's happened. It's okay. It's happened, right? Of course, there's a few of us. And maybe it's not everybody. But it is, don't feel shameful about that. Own up to it and understand that when you realize that you have allowed fear to stop you or slow you down, then now you've got feedback for later. Not failure, but feedback. And that feedback says, how can I make the next time I come across that decision or the next time I come across that obstacle, how can I make the results different? Because you let fear, let's say your task is putting up an ad, doing a go live. Let's use that. Because who else has been scared, poopless by doing a go live? I have been. I'm like Colin. I stared at my phone for like 15 minutes saying, oh yeah, I'm ready to go. And I'm like an invisible force field against pressing the live button, right? Believe me, if you have felt that, you're not the only one. But when you go through that process again, you say, okay, you know what? It stopped me this time. The next time I do it, what am I going to do differently? How am I going to change my state? Change the way you approach that and say, hey, you know what? Maybe it's your fear of people looking at you. Oh, great. Pretend that nobody is. Just press the button. Right? You got to go forward. Like so many of our team has talked about, Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And just do it. And you got to put yourself in that state. You know, if you got to go do like 10 jumping jacks, or like Pool Boy, he'll probably do like 100 push-ups and then like get at it. And sometimes you got to put yourself in that state physiologically before you can make a move. But whatever you need to do, you got to just do it.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that too, because I have a fear. I'm not really sure if I can label the fear, but it seems to be it was pressing the snooze button and sleeping in, because not having to go to a regular job, it's so much easier to just forget about what your daily morning routine is when you're in that sleep mode. And listening to the audio of a 5-second rule has totally changed everything I thought about that, coming down to science, because Mel Robbins explains that when you get out of bed in the morning and you jump up, do the 5-second rule and jump up, you give it about 3 or 4 minutes and you're going to be alert, right? It's just that your brain going, no. But if you actually do the 5-second rule, don't let your brain get a hold of you and get your body up, then your mind and your brain catch up to your body and then you're awake. But what happens when you press the snooze button, because if you're used to waking up, you go to bed, you've got a certain sleep cycle that you do. It's every 90 minutes to about 90 to 110 minutes. That's a sleep cycle. So you go through about 5 or 6 of those a night, depending on how long you sleep. So your brain is automatically knows that you're going to get up at a certain time and will end a sleep cycle right before your alarm goes off. So when your alarm goes off, say it's set for 6 o'clock and you press the snooze button, your brain goes, okay, we're going back to sleep, and you go into another sleep cycle. And then when you go into that other sleep cycle, you press it, you get up 9 minutes later, but your brain's already in that sleep cycle and you're screwed for about 2 hours. And that's why you try to jam coffee into you. You're tired, things are going wrong because you actually slept that extra 9, 18, 27, 30, whatever, how many times you press snooze. And that the science behind that's crazy. So I get up and I'm like, I'm almost afraid to close my eyes and be like, no more sleep cycles. And I get my ass out of bed. So that's pretty huge, that 5-second rule. I think that it can be used for a lot of things by not letting your brain get a hold of it and grab onto that fear that you have and make it real by having excuses. And that's all they are. Fear is just a bunch of excuses your brain makes up because it doesn't want to do anything. Stupid brain.
Yeah. Thanks, Pool Boy. It comes down that 5-second rule. Really, it's a tactic to help people with discipline. That's really all it is. It's saying, I want to do X, but something inside is preventing me or slowing me down or stopping me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, do it. That's really just what discipline is doing what you know that you should do instead of deferring it till later and saying, you know what, I'll do it later. Or maybe I can put it off, or you know what, sleep's more important, or bachelorette is more important, or whatever it is that's derailing you from your goal. Right? It really comes down to a simple identification and then an action. It doesn't have to be really complex, guys. It really doesn't. So I want to ask, it is February 8th. From January 1st, we've had 5 weeks. How are you doing in progress with your growth? I'm not talking about results. Results will come. Are you on track? Do you have a personal growth plan that you're sticking to? Right? Have you been getting on the webinars? Have you been doing the audios? Have you been doing the readings? Right? Our 5 pillars. Right? Are you sticking to that? Right? How's everybody doing with that? Does anybody want to chime in on that and maybe present some challenges that have happened and how you've overcome them? So yes, go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to bring this up because last year was last year was a massive challenge for me, from the transition from having the corporate 8 to 8. We say 9 to 5, but that doesn't exist when you're a manager. And then transitioning from never being home and trying to squeeze time in my business to being home full time, and then trying to decide, am I working my business 24/7? Am I still like up from 6 in the morning till midnight? Like, and when I would take time away from business, I felt guilt. I felt so much guilt, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to take an hour away to go, soak in the tub. What if somebody on my team needs me? And I am human, because you're trying to decide. I was in the place where it was like, when is the best time for me to be available for everyone else? So for some of you who may have dealt with that, or have had a team, or have a team, I should say, and have struggled as to when can I be available for them, I really went through, like, a lot of the personal development I took. I realized that what is most important is my availability to myself. When I started to focus more and more on a routine, that helped me become very comfortable and very okay with the fact that my time is my time. And if I'm not available at a certain time because I have errands to run, I have personal things to do around the house. Obviously, somebody's got to clean this place. It doesn't clean itself. I don't have Corey living with me, apparently. We're going to have to talk about that, because I think I need a maid now. But you know what? That's the one thing that I had to transition from the corporate world brain to working full time and leaving the house. So now I leave my home 3 days a week, and I go out for a minimum of 2 hours. And I'm either just sitting quiet, sitting in a restaurant with my laptop where I have Wi-Fi, or I sit at a coffee shop. Sometimes I won't go to a coffee shop because at certain times of the day they get very loud and it's distractive. And then some restaurants are a little quieter than others. And I found that that's helped me have such greater focus just to get out. So when some people say it's good to set up an office space for your home, I mean, I think I'm limited, like a lot of people with space in a smaller place. So I try to limit as much as what I have out for my work. And honestly, just being very strict on reading specific books, sticking to daily rituals and habits. I now do them 3 times a day. So 3 times a day, I've instilled new habits in myself. And that also includes, that's above and beyond the meetings that for me, they're mandatory to attend, right? Our company masterminds and meetings, if you are not at your job or at an emergency function that you can't get out of, you have to attend. That's your business. And as a leader and an upcoming leader and somebody who's developing a team, I can assure you your team will do what you do. So if you're not doing what you're asking them to do, they're not going to do it. And if you start creating these habits, if you're new and you haven't built your team yet, I highly suggest to start creating these habits now. If you're new and still working a full-time career or 2 jobs, instill habits daily that you can transition once you go full time. And so those are things that have really, really helped me greatly. And also reaching up to other leaders and asking them, what are you doing? What are you doing to maximize your time? And what are you doing that are daily habits? And that's helped me as well, because they've given me suggestions, ideas that I didn't even think about, right? So don't feel like you're here trying to figure it out all on your own and be creative on your own. Every one of us here has a different story, a different skill level, a different background, and a different present. And we're all here to share that with you because we want to customize that for you as the individual entrepreneur. And it's so simple to add into your life. So I just had to get it out of my head and create time frames where the hardest thing that I had to do was put my phone away for periods of time and not touch it. That was my biggest challenge.
Awesome. Great feedback there, Tammy. Thank you for that. And, I would just say again is that you have to put yourself in an environment that you are able to focus on your highest ROI activities, right? What are the things that are going to benefit you and benefit your business the most in your daily activities? You know, if you're only spending 15 minutes to read, if that's all you have, great, it's something. But if you've got 15 minutes to read, but then you've got 2.5 hours to watch TV, there's an imbalance there, right? Your goal of being a 6-figure earner or getting out of your job is not congruent with your actions, right? And that doesn't mean that you're watching TV every day. Maybe you binge watch for like 2 straight days, not telling you how to live your life. But if you aren't at where you want to be yet, and you binge watch Game of Thrones, and I hear that's a really great movie, a really great show. I've never actually watched it. So people tell me it's addictive. And because of that, I don't even want to try. Because I know that my goals, the goals that I have for my family, my wife, you know, my personal businesses, that's what's more important to me than being entertained. But that's just me. I'm not saying that you guys have to do that. But you have to be aware of what your goals are and have them congruent and aligned with your actions.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
I think that one of the biggest things that I struggled with was reading. I always felt that I was missing something on the business, catching up on ads. And I really took your advice early in the year. And so what I have started to do now is, well, one thing I did is I set a daily schedule. So in working out in the morning, just kind of priming my day. And then I work on the business. And then I think I retain reading more at night. So I've been reading at night before I go to bed instead of being on my phone. So that's helped me out a lot. Because reading is education for your brain. And, you know, for what we do, like you have to improve. Like for me, I want to improve on becoming a better leader, and learning, you know, the technical side of the business. And so reading has been massive for me. And the only way I think I really did it is taking 2 pieces of advice: is your advice on start reading, and Angela's advice on not taking a 0. So I really try to not take that 0. There's some days where my cardio is a little bit sluggish, but as of late, as I'm training harder, my cardio is getting better. So like I just try not to take 0s, and it you know, you're not getting like, and sometimes it's different because like if you're not getting, like you think you're not getting results because you're not getting a 99, but I've improved my life so much since January 1st when I set my yearly goals. I haven't been rocking out 99s, but like Nikki and I have been actually doing a lot of product sales. But just more, I wanted to learn, I wanted to start investing more into myself. And I know I'll become a way better leader, way better husband, father, you know, mentor and coach to people, with me taking that time for myself. So the daily schedule has been massive for me.
I want to quickly touch on that as well, is like when we're reading or when we're doing meditation or we're doing all these things that might not be income producing, and it's like Colin touched on it really quickly, is like he felt like when he read, he was taking away from his business, and he wasn't actively talking to leads. He wasn't on the phone or doing product sales and stuff like that. However, when you do the reading, when you do the meditation, when you do the audios, you don't even realize that that is actually going to help you make the 99s, because you're advancing and you're creating this new person inside yourself. So now you're able to fluently talk to people, and you have a better understanding on how to talk to people. So they all mesh together, and doing one is what's going to help you do all of them, or sorry, doing all of them is what's going to help you do all of them. So like if you leave reading out, you're not going to grow. You're not going to, like, for me, like even reading what I've read, it enlightens you. It brings you to a whole new perspective. And so it helps when you're on the 99. So then you get more 99s. But if you stay stagnant in one area and you don't do one area, then you're not going to grow in that area. And the 99s are going to keep being the same. You're never going to be able to add a new flavor or something. You could read something in a book and add perspective when you're on a phone call. So they all add into the end goal, which is to create wealth, time freedom, and like everything that we're here searching for. So Yeah, I think that's really awesome to say. Like, you do feel like you're taking time away from your business, but you're actually adding to your business and yourself.
It's an investment. And Nikki is a prime example, because 8, 10, 12 months ago, she would never talk this way, right? She would never pop on camera. She would not speak with conviction. She would not be so well spoken. But what has gotten to where she is and why she is a six-figure earner now with us is because she's invested in herself and not let fear hold her back. There was some fear there too, right, Nikki? And you didn't let that hold you back all the time. You progressed and made that investment. Understand, in business, everybody, if you've never been in business before, there's always an investment. It's either an investment of resources, which is time, money, other intellectual property, things like that, tangible things. But then there's the intangibles as well that you have to make investments of: belief, conviction, faith, passion. Those are also an investment you need to make in your business and in yourself for you to make that leap forward. Without an investment, you can't get anything out. So if there's anybody, and I highly doubt it, but if there's anybody that's going to be watching this mastermind thinking, well, geez, I signed up and you know what? Things aren't happening for me. They're not happening for me right now. I'm not getting the results I want. You have to take an inventory and say, am I doing what everybody that has success is telling me to do? Are you doing the reading? Are you getting on the masterminds? Do you have marketing up? Are you testing marketing every day? And are you collaborating? Unless you are doing those things, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage every day. Ask anybody that has had results, right? Ask Yan, ask Colin, Nikki, Tammy, Angela, ask Steph. It's daily actions. It's those habits that what create our life and create our results. And if you've got bad habits or habits that don't serve your goals, then that's the first place you should be looking, is how do I change my habits?
I think to break the biggest thing, and I know we talk about it a lot. If you want to break habits, if you want to break some habits, go pick up the magic and start writing your daily gratitude every day. If you want to break any habits, go get the magic and set a time that you want to write your daily gratitude, and watch how fast it's easy to fall off that one habit. And that is one habit that I've stayed consistent with for the whole, since my journey online. And because I was I had horrible habits. Loved watching hockey. I didn't have good habits. I would literally not watch this call last year, or not, maybe more towards the beginning of my business, to watch a hockey game or to watch an NFL game or watch something. I'm not a big TV guy. I'm more sports, but so anyways, if you want to change your paradigm, your habits, just get the magic. And it's the 8th of February, write for 30 days. Right? Start writing 10 things you're grateful for 30 days. And you will start to find different, you'll break a lot of habits. And it's been amazing. I love the magic. I love the magic. And the reason why is it's just because it does. It makes you feel good. There's so many exercises in that book where sometimes you're just grateful for a toothbrush. You're seeing how do you get out of bed? You're like, thank you, to the sink or to the toilet, take a leak. But it is truly game changing if you follow it and you believe in it. You have to believe, and that's the bottom line. And it's so easy to pick up bad habits, and just grab the magic. And if you don't have the magic, just grab a journal. And if you don't have a journal, go get a piece of paper. If you don't have a piece of paper, get an envelope and start writing 10 things that you're grateful for every day, and jam that thing, if it's on an envelope, make sure it's full, and then go get a piece of paper somewhere. But start writing 10 things you're grateful for every day. And it doesn't matter. You can just be grateful to, the sunshine and You can be grateful that you're having a warm meal or tea. It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong way to be grateful for something. But I'll tell you one thing. If you look in the mirror, you go to a hospital, if you look around the world, we have a lot to be grateful for, you guys. A lot. And living your life with gratitude will change a shitload of stuff in your life. Sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to say that, but it will change a lot. It will change a lot of things in your life.
You know what I'm grateful for is how good Colin looks. Hey,
Me too.
freshly shaven, no drinks. He's working out. Like you can tell how much energy you have flowing out of you right now, Col. You look phenomenal, man. You really do. And you're on mute.
I don't even drink coffee or tea. This is lemon water. I'm kind of just got rid of all the caffeine in my life, so we have a lot of lemons in our house. But no, we do. We feel really good here, and Nikki and I have done a lot of work on with each other. And like Kevin said in the beginning, this business hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. But when I was working in McMurray and covered in oil and away from my kids and my wife, I found a passion to succeed and grow. And we haven't even scratched the surface yet. It's truly an amazing campaign. I'm just grateful to have you guys and Pool Boy living with us. He's a beauty, and I'm grateful for my wife. But thanks a lot for your comment, Kev.
And he's humble too, man. Isn't that amazing?
I wanted to just jump back, Kevin, when Colin was talking about reading, and that it was difficult for him to get started with reading. One thing that actually triggered me with reading was, and Tammy and I talked about this a little while back, but I was like, I feel like if I don't read, if somebody has a question for me and I don't have an answer, or I don't have a solution, or I don't have an idea of a solution, I'm not helping. So the more I read and the more I learn, the more chance I'm going to be able to have the right answer for somebody when they have a question for me. So it became like, we talk about the ripple effect, where we're like, if Cameron didn't get started, then Jang and Julian didn't get started, then Kevin didn't get started. So to me, I'm like, if I don't read this, I'm not going to be giving my ripple effect the right ripple, so to speak. I'm not going to have the answers and be able to grow the people when they need it. And so that is another reason why reading to me and the audios and getting in all that new information is so critical, because I got to have that answer. I feel like I'm that person.
True. We're in a business, guys, and business is about value. People buy value. People get involved because of value. I had a mentor tell me once that if you don't invest in yourself, how can you expect to invest in other people? Therefore, they don't grow. And we're in the people business. Really, every business is about people. You're either investing in people like partners, like you guys are, or you're investing in customers. And we're essentially both. We're partners and customers of our platform. So if you're not investing in yourself, how can you expect to bring value to other people? And that's what it's about. That's what, and some people say, well, no, I just want to sell product. I want to move product. I want to make money. That is how you move the product, is by delivering value. Delivering value as who you are, right? Because you're the messenger, right? You're both messenger and product. You are the actual product that you're selling. That's what online marketing is about, is developing your brand and your presence. So,
and if you guys, you know what? And if you think you're in the wrong space, if you think you guys made a bad decision and you're a little bit unsure of where you're at and what what we're doing right now is the fastest growing business industry in the world. People are flocking online, like they're coming online. Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about by 2022, the affiliate marketing is already, it's the amount of income that's created through affiliate marketing is the largest industry in the world. But he said by 2022, 2023, it's going to triple. And it's because of these. It's because of these. 5-6 years ago, I remember the flip phones. I remember back in the day, this is going to age me a little bit. I'm 37, but I was so stoked to get a bag phone in my truck. Like now I can run a business from this phone. I don't need a laptop. At some points, you need, but Just feel confident of where you're at. Be proud that you're on a call tonight, and just know that you're in the right space. And if you're having some struggles, get to the books. Change that mindset. Like Steph said, get out of this. And I had a hard time getting out of my head. Hard. It took a lot of work, and I still sometimes, my mind, but grow your business from your heart. Know that you're in the right space. Just know that you are in the right space, because this is the right space. And if you're having those struggles, just start learning, dig more into yourself, and you'll start breaking those barriers down.
True. I read a quote today that all successful people are both dreamers and realists at the same time. And they're dreamers because they have a big goal. They've got big, huge aspirations for what is possible. But where the realism comes in is they have to realize where they're at right now. You've got a big goal of where you want to go, but you have to be aware and not delude yourself on where you're at. You have to identify, hey, I know what I'm good at. I know what I am not good at. I know what I got to work on. Okay, how do I get to where I want to be? Be realistic, not with your goals, because being unrealistic is what drives the human race forward. How do we land a man on the moon, right? How do we start? We have big chunks of metal that are tons, that weigh tons, and they fly through the air, right? It is the dreamers that drive us forward. So you can be part of that. But be realistic with your actions. Be realistic by understanding, hey, I spend way too much time entertaining myself versus educating myself. Or I spend way too much time in leisure versus working. And that means either working on yourself or working on your business. Right? Be realistic in who you are, the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror, so that you know what to work on.
Can I give a tip?
Yes.
You want to change your business 100%? Write it down on paper, start visualizing it, and read that thing every day, every night. Put it on your mirror. Just do it. That will change your business. It will work. It's the law. It works. There's nothing that can stop that. It's the law of attraction. There's nothing in the world that will stop your success. So write your goal down, start visualizing it. Like Steph is saying, she's meditating. Look at, she's meditating. I'm not saying you have to meditate, but she started meditating. All of a sudden, people started funneling into her business. When I'm in deep meditation and I'm writing down my goals and I'm visualizing, our business explodes. It is the law. There's nothing that can stop it. So if you want success, write a 30-day goal. Or actually, Jordan Belfort, I love what he does. You write a 6-week goal and start reading that goal every morning, every night, and start visualizing your success, and it will happen. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else writes their goals every day? Every day. Look at me. Raise your hand. Put your hand in front of your camera if you write your goals down every single day. Ange, Dave, Colin, Nikki, Corey, Kyla, Steph.
I just write them on this. You just write a couple things down for the day. That's goals for the day.
Yeah, and I also have like on my screensaver, like every time I open my phone, I have literally my vision of where I want to go in the next year. So
Amazing.
That's something that I look at too.
Okay, here's something for everybody.
Manifesting. Oh, sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
Here's everything. No, that's all right. Here's something for everybody to take note of. Is when I ask that question, it doesn't mean that it's exclusive, but for the most part, everybody that has had results in this business were the ones that raised their hands, is that they were focused on their goals every single day. Okay? So if you're focused on your goals every single day, does it mean that you're 100% going to reach your goals? No. But if you don't write your goals down every day, I'll pretty much guarantee you that you have 0% chance of reaching your goals. It is that powerful, is to focus on your goals. And the best way to focus is by reading and writing. It's kinesthetic. It doesn't take a long time. That should be, how easy is it for you to write 3 sentences on a piece of paper? How simple is that, everybody? 3 sentences on a piece of paper.
It's simple, and I want to just kind of touch on that because, like, I think that a lot of stuff that we do has to do with feeling. It has to do with feeling. Whether you want to, you start doing something you don't feel like doing. That's the main reason why you don't fucking do it. Is because you don't feel like doing it. Then the problem is like watching a movie or watching your show. You feel like doing that, right? But what happens is when you do something that you don't feel like doing in the beginning, what happens when you do it at the end, when you finish your goals, when you read that book, when you go and do your meditation, and when you go into the gym and you get that morning routine down by whatever time it is, after that, you have this feeling that is far more better than the feeling you get when you start watching a movie, but you don't have it yet. So you don't do it. And then when you don't do it, then you get that bad feeling. So to do something that you don't feel like doing, you have to understand that at the end, you're going to get a far way better feeling than that. And then what that does, it starts to build confidence in yourself, in who you are as a person, and you can actually rely on yourself. And then once you start realizing that you can rely on yourself, then you start doing these things without even knowing, because you get that feeling in the beginning, knowing that you're gonna do this and it's gonna benefit you long term, because it's that compound effect of doing those little things every day. Because it's not the big things. The goals are good to have in the future, but it's those little things that we do every single day that chisels and carves us into who we are. And right there, that everything right there, that's freedom. It's not having to not go to a job or make a lot of money or be successful. Freedom is being the best version of yourself and knowing that you can rely on yourself and be confident and courageous in life. Go ahead.
And I thought you were finished there. And I love what Corey's saying here, because what's going to happen is if you start chipping away at all these little things, don't set the goal unrealistic for your 60 day, or your 6 weeks. Be realistic, but make it a little bit scary. And like, it's just for an example, Corey and I visualized a masterclass. That masterclass did not get just put together. That masterclass took us weeks, but we thought about it. We talked about it. We wrote it down. I wrote my strategy. I strategized what I thought. Corey strategized what he thought. We came back together, and then we started chipping away on slides. And then the slides that we created, Corey adapted, and he just created different ones. So what it does is when you start chipping away at all these little things, you start to get momentum. And when you get momentum, it's like a train. It's the law. Once that train is going, it's hard for things to stop it. We are the same. Nikki and I, we're going. Our business will never stop unless we just literally shut our computers off, but that is not going to happen. But I just love what Corey said, because it's powerful. And if you just start chipping away at the little things, you will get momentum, and you'll start creating little ripple effects, and it just goes wide. So it's very, very, very important to just take those small steps, but stay consistent. That's where a lot of probably 75% of people fall off, is they come out of the gates heavy, and then they might have a bad day, and they might have 2 bad days, 3 bad days, and don't get really back on track. If you can get back on track, your business will be unbelievable. But be patient.
Yeah, doing the things that you don't want to do when nobody's looking isn't the right way to think about it. Doing the things that you don't want to do when it's only you looking, because you're looking at yourself, and you're experiencing yourself just like everybody else is, except you benefit off the stuff you do for yourself. So if you can just be your own cheerleader and be able to be a rock star every single day, then you're gonna sing for the people.
That was a great segue, Pool Boy. I appreciate that. There's there's actions that we can take to help bring those dreams into reality. It's John Maxwell calls it giving life to your visions, and he has some suggestions on how to do that. One of the things that he says is that you have to focus on what that end goal, of course, is, and then to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be, you have to focus on your personal growth plan. So aside from the goal, you've got goals, you've got actions, right? Our 5 pillars. But then what is your personal growth plan? He says investing in yourself in a way that in 12 months, you can line up what events you might go see, seminars, books you're going to read, audios, videos, anything like a curriculum. It's like, how do you go from undergrad to med school? You follow a curriculum, right? How do you go from a science minor to an engineering major? Well, you follow a curriculum. So, I mean, that's what obviously Jay-Z is all about. We're creating new curriculum as well, which will blow your minds. But closing the gap is about following that growth plan, or at least identifying that growth plan and starting to develop a curriculum for yourself that involves your strengths. Because we all have strengths, we all have weaknesses. If you're constantly working on your weaknesses, you're not going to get very far because they're your weaknesses. Focus on your strengths because that's what's going to move you furthest, fastest. And we can all improve, whether they're strengths or weaknesses. So when you're focusing on your strengths, identify what those top 5 strengths are, right? Think about this for a second. Think about this for 60 seconds right now. What are your top 5 strengths? Right, and if you have a piece of paper and a pen, why don't you write them down? Everybody get a chance to write down 5 strengths? Anybody want to share what they might be? Loyalty, integrity, genuinity, compassionate, and determined. Wonderful, Kyla. That's awesome. So you get the idea. You've got 5 strengths. Okay. Now you want to describe how these strengths relate to the achievement of your dream, of your goal. So let's say your goal is to make 10 grand a month. But no, actually, forget I even said that. 10 grand a month is a bad goal. Let's say your goal is $13,000 a month, because at 130, at $158,000 a year, I think that's what it works out to, that would help you achieve X. Why is X possible? Because you always want to provide for your family, or you always want to live in that house, or you always want to live in a certain neighborhood, or live a certain lifestyle that you could travel all the time, right? It's not about the money. There's something deeper. So how do your strengths relate to the achievement of that dream? Like Kyla said, she's loyal. She's got integrity. Great. Integrity is something that she can pass on to buyers. Being genuine with people are going to make her very relatable. Having compassion are going to help people see her as a compassionate leader. They're going to want to follow her. And determined, well, determination is something that people also want to follow because they don't want to follow a quitter. And her goal of being able to stay home with Nathaniel and providing for her and her family, all of those things relate to the achievement of her goal. Those are going to help her get there. So identify what those things are. Maybe it's perseverance, optimism, enthusiasm, Maybe you get really excited. Maybe you're really emotionally intelligent or emotionally stable. Whatever those things are, right? Like Justin says, team player, great. Assertive, he's loyal, he's determined, he's honest. Think about and identify how those qualities and traits now are going to help you get to your goal. How they're going to help you achieve your dream. John Maxwell also says, note if there's any weaknesses in your abilities that would be difficult or impossible to strengthen. For example, if I said, one of my weaknesses was that I wasn't 6'5", well, that's not something I can change, right? Yeah, that's part of being realistic with your strengths and your weaknesses. So here's his suggestion: is creating that 12-month growth plan in the achievement of your dream is, in the coming year, read 2 books related to each strength. So that's a total of 10 books related to each strength. It could be leadership. It could be financial awareness. It could be abundance. There's a lot of different strengths that you might have. Read 2 books that are going to feed into those strengths, going to improve those strengths. He suggests plan 1 interview with an expert in your number 1 strength, whatever you think that might be. Listen to a podcast or a lesson or a CD. Nobody listens to CDs anymore. Is every week related to your top 5 strengths. Notice that your growth plan will always be focused on your strengths. However, there's one exception to this rule. Said character flaws can prevent you from achieving success. If one of the weaknesses that you identified was related to character, you need to find and enlist a mentor to help you work through the issue. So, for instance, a character flaw might be that you get in your head, and because you are fearful of criticism, it paralyzes you from taking action. Enlist a mentor, find a coach, find a hypnotherapist, find somebody that's a professional or an authority to help you through that. Because you're going to need that extra oomph to, rather than just reading books and listening to audios, to help you get over that. He says you cannot successfully tackle character issues on your own. And the last thing to do is journal. We've all talked about it. It's, everybody's talked about it. Every single one of our top leaders talks about it. Journaling is one of the best ways for you to express yourself from a very deep and visceral level. So make sure that as you reflect and write, you answer the following questions. So this is how to make your dream a reality. What are the qualities needed in a person who desires to accomplish the dream, right? What are the qualities that are required for me to accomplish my dream? What background and what kind of experiences did that kind of person usually possess? What skills do you need to acquire to bridge the gap? How long will it take you to acquire those skills? What will it cost you? What will you have to pay to possess those experiences and acquire those skills? What habits must you begin cultivating in order to become someone who can achieve that dream? Do people who you respect affirm that you either are or have the potential to become someone who could achieve this dream? And what do you expect to be the greatest obstacle that you will face while working to achieve your dream? Sorry, Chris, I'll write these down later for you guys and I'll send it out. How long do you expect the accomplishment of your dream to take, and how much work will it require? Okay, so I'll post those. I'll post those later. Those are some questions that he suggests to ask yourself. That way you can look at your journal and say, hey, am I on track? Am I moving in the right direction? Or am I moving the wrong direction? Am I doing what it takes? Are my habits leading me the right way or the wrong way? Again, everything is feedback, not failure. So you're going to learn a lot about yourself in your journey to success. Because who you are now doesn't necessarily mean that you are the person that you need to be to accomplish your goal or your dreams. The easiest way, the simplest way for you to ensure that you accomplish something, you accomplish your goals and your dreams, is to start working on yourself, start investing in yourself, start growing yourself. And that's time, money, energy, focus, all of those things into how can I be better? You know, I mean, Colin and Nikki, you know, Angela, you know, Yan, Tammy, I mean, all about the top leaders, you know, in this group, they've all shown that they are constantly investing in themselves. Never satisfied, always hungry. Because regardless of what results they have, they want more. And it's not because it's a vain goal, but it's because they know that they've got more potential in them, that they can make a bigger difference and make a bigger impact. So last exercise for today. Oh, sorry. Who wants? Go ahead. Somebody was going to say something.
I'm in the middle of reading Grant Cardone's 10X, and mind blowing. And the reason why, it's just because so many people get into business and they think it's just going to be easy, and it's, you know, there's so many excuses. And I was that person. I made the excuses. I thought it was going to be easy. Like, got into this company, and Brian Hodgson was doing go lives, and Jesse was killing it, and I wanted to be in their chapter 12, and I was in my chapter 1, and he's like, you need to chill out, buddy. But the biggest thing is I'm going to, like, I'm in the middle of writing our game plan, and I am going to 10X our business, because I'm now learning exactly what it does take when you actually really do a 10X business plan. And it's a lot of work, but man, 2 or 3 years down the road, that's when things will be a little bit more chilled for us, and we can spend winters on the beaches or do what we want when we want. So I'm not looking for instant gratification that I retire by summer. That's unrealistic, but I think we can definitely be retired in the next 3 or 4 years. I mean, semi-retired. I'll always be a part of the campaign, but I mean, where we're going to go balls to the wall the next 2 or 3, probably 3, even 3 to 5 years. And then, you know, I'll be 42, I'll be done. And like, everybody in here can do that. Like, we all started at 0 sales. You know, we all started, you know, Facebook started, there was 0 members, YouTube, 0 members, the Enaja campaign, 0 sales, gas, 0. Everybody starts off with a 0. So if you just dig into yourself, get out of your head, build with your heart, and start just like even Kevin dropping some massive value here tonight for everybody. And it's only value if you take action on that. And if you absorb it and take action, right? Some of us on this call will take this information and possibly just, you know, you were on a call for an hour and a half tonight. And if you reverse that and go, F that, I'm going to take action. I'm going to get out of my head. Like, if you listen to, and I didn't mean to steal your thunder, Kev, I just really kind of want to talk about what's been on this call tonight. There's been some serious value. You know, Kevin's dropped bombs. Steph is dropping bombs. Ange, you know, myself, like Tam, you know, who else? Corey. Like, there's so much value in this call tonight. It's mind blowing. And all I'm going to say is get out of your head and start taking action. Don't have a pity party. And believe me, I had some pity parties. Felt sorry for myself. My business wasn't going. And my wife's been fantastic. She's like, shut up. Like, oh, get it done. And she helps, and I'm very, very blessed because she helps me raise my vibrational pattern. She helps me succeed. And if you don't have a significant other to help you succeed, use this chat as that motivation, because this campaign works. So get out of your head and make it happen. Apply what's been taught tonight, because there's been some bombs dropped, you guys.
Awesome.
I'm out.
Thanks for sharing, Call. Thanks. Mic drop. Awesome, guys. Awesome. I want to close with this. I think it's a cool exercise. Anybody that has fear out there, fear of doing something, fear of criticism, fear of doubt, fear of success, fear of failure, it comes from this book. And if you guys haven't picked up already, I read every single day that I can, and that's how I invest in myself, so I can invest in others like you guys. So it's called the So What exercise. So Joe was rude. So what? I felt disrespected. So what? I don't like being disrespected. So what? What if everyone stops respecting me? So what? Well, I'll be alone and loathed. So what? I don't want to be alone. So what? I have an irrational fear of loneliness. So what? It's irrational. So what? So nothing. I'm good. So what? So nothing. Understand that your fears are deeply irrational, right? They're inherently irrational. What if so-and-so says this? What if so-and-so defriends me? What if they don't invite me to Christmas? What if they don't like me anymore? What if they think that I'm, a rich millionaire, a-hole? What if they think that I'm XYZ and ABC? Doesn't matter. What if? So what? Who cares? It does not matter. If you have a fear, what if I invest that money and don't make it back? So what? What if I put money into marketing and it doesn't work? So what? What if I put my face on the internet and people don't like it? So what? Tell yourself, so what? The fears, at the end of the day, the only way that they affect your life is they prevent you from reaching your potential. They prevent you from living the life that you want and deserve. So what? I read this and it was a great exercise. And then when you're done saying so what, ask yourself, what if? Take that transition from, okay, I'm fearful, so what? Once you've identified so what, all those so whats don't matter, say, hey, what if? What if I start doing go lives and I start getting organic leads? What if I start getting marketing out there and I test every day? And what if I start getting leads every day? What if I start getting sales every day? What if I start making my first trifecta sales every day? What if I start making $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month? What if I get to a point that allows me to live free from a job? What if I get to a point that I can live the life of my dreams because I took that first step? What if? All right, guys, we're 91 minutes. Tammy, thank you so much for obviously administrating the call and everything. Thank you, everybody else.
I have something quick to say. I have something quick to say.
Oh, yes. Go ahead, Tammy.
Sorry. Just take a second. So I wanted everybody to have an update. I'm going to be releasing our brand new Facebook group on Sunday. And the Facebook group is called Epic Life Movement. And I'm going to post just a header of what the banner itself looks like. So when you get an invitation, you know what it is. For the time being, I have some of our team leaders already in that group, so they have time to go through it. What I'm going to do to simplify the process is, I know that in our Epic chat group, there's well over 150 people. So I'm going to ask that you, the leaders who have a team, I want you to personally add your team to that group. Only an admin and moderator can approve a member in the group, but please make sure to add some members that are active in the business. If there's somebody that's been struggling there a long time, probably a great time to private message them, give them a call, because I don't want to just toss people in this group and nobody knows what it's about. I'm working on doing a quick just intro video, so when you first get into the Facebook group, The video is actually going to show you how we've separated the group itself by banners. And so typically when you go to a Facebook group, people are typing stuff, welcomes, updates, and you're scrolling endlessly onto the feed of the wall and can't find anything. So everything is going to be compartmentalized in these beautiful little banners. So when we welcome people, we just click on the orange banner, go in the comments, welcome a new member. If there's things that pop up that we want to share from Transformational Tuesday, we're going to put it in that banner. Our weekly mastermind will be set as an event, so you'll get a reminder in Facebook so you don't forget, along with the Zoom link so you have instant access. And I just want everyone to know that your feedback and suggestions are totally welcome, because this Facebook group is designed for each and every single one of you to have access to things that obviously social media updates all the time, Facebook updates all the time. And, you know, for everybody who's actively, you know, checking ad split testing, you learn a new trick, you know, watching a webinar here, attending a masterclass there. We all have access to different tools and resources. That's a place to put that info. You're going to want to speak to any of the admin or moderators to add any files or links to that program, but I'll do a quick recording of how to walk through that group when you're first welcomed to it. And if you're not in that group and you're here by, let's say, Monday, please connect with, you know, either myself or Nikki, Colin, Angela, Kevin, and reach out to us and say, hey, I've not been added to that group yet, because we want to make sure you don't get missed. And we're really excited to launch our Epic Life Movement group and to just keep everybody more and more connected and informed. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Tammy.
Way to go, Tam.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. All right, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. Everybody have a fantastic